Tim, it is Friday. It is the Friday before watch what I'm doing here. The
Yep.
fantastic game
event,
event
the big game.
ahead of that.
The granddaddy of them all.
You can't say it apparently, and it's crazy. The craziest thing, like apparently you're not allowed to use those words in these different forums. And as I've mentioned, the NFL is one of the most litigious. Groups, and they also sue people a lot. So I don't want to get sort of caught up in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you see that Jose Canseco is taking on one of the interns from Barstool Sports in a cage match, in a fight?
Come on.
I mean, it's battle royale, man. I mean, that's going to be maybe a bigger draw than the big game.
It makes you wonder. I mean, why does so? You have to listen. I'm not privy to Jose Canseco's career contracts, but I got to believe he made a decent amount of coin. What is he thinking? Like, why would you do something like this?
Dude, go on the internet and look at that picture of him doing a WWF style. Actually, it's more octagon stuff with. I think it's China's version of Andre the Giant. And
really,
and the guy, Jose's 6'4" something. Jose looks like he's Bugsy Mogs, Muggsy Bogues. How did I do that? Whoa.
Bugsy Mogs, Muggsy Bogues. I know where you were going.
It's Friday.
I would have gone. See, I would have gone Spud Webb. That's how I would have gone.
Yeah, but
Spud
Muggsy
was just a mad.
Muggsy was shorter than Spud.
No, I know, but similar type of player.
Do you think Spud Webb really should have won the
slam dunk competition?
The dunk contest. I mean,
100%.
I don't think his stuff was that good. I mean,
dude, he's like 5'8", and I mean, come on.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Short people don't want to get a handicap here. He's supposed to win. It's supposed to be a meritocracy.
So when Tree Rollins wins the slam dunk comp, I mean, you find that to be somewhat interesting. See, I see a guy going 5'7", 5'8", doing shit that I can't do, and I'm like, he should win by default.
I don't know. I mean, how about I take the hoop in my driveway and I lower it to 9 feet, and I could do some pretty awesome shit, But
that's what
I mean.
Can I
you
tell you
imagine
something?
me doing a whirlwind like tomahawk?
Okay.
Yeah.
You'd hurt something.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to do that. I mean, it would be. I think in your mind you're doing these things, but then you get out there in the hardwood and it ain't happening.
Okay, so the obvious storyline here is old school, new school. You've got Tom Brady. Enough has been said about this guy, and I don't mean it as in enough. I mean enough's been said. There's not much more to say than Tom Brady these days. Mahomes, by the way, whose dad pitched for the New York Metropolitans, who are about to sign Trevor Bauer. It's incredible, dude. I mean, this is a big day for the Mets. It's almost as if I wonder. Anyway. So Mahomes, new kid on the block, and I don't mean
the band.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who's the guy from New Kids. Well, I mean Wahlberg.
Justin Timberlake was he? I know I get these things confused.
NSYNC.
He's an NSYNC. Oh, whatever. What was Bieber part of, or is he not in the boy band?
Bieber's just part of Canada.
Just Biebs is just Biebs. Okay, I apologize.
And I know. And by the way, I dig the Biebs. All right, so back off for a second.
Old school, new school. So just before, I mean, you want to throw out a score?
Yeah, it's going to be Kansas City 34. Actually, let me do my math here. That's a terrible number to pick. It's going to be 30. Yeah, it's not a bad number. 34 to 21.
34-21. So a relative blowout is what you're saying. I mean, not again, probably not as close as the score would indicate. Don't you love that thing?
I like.
And I'm just to take the other side. I'm going to say Tampa Bay, led by Tom Terrific. I think they're going to put up. How about 38-31 Tampa Bay? How's that?
Okay, so clearly you're 38-31. It's a close game though. That's a lot of points, bro.
Sure it is.
And people are talking about Tampa's defense, and they're not going to give up that many points, and that's why this is such a close game. But so you're going with the old school. I'm kind of going with the new school. So put that in a market context, and give me who's your old school Turk that's new again, and I'll give you my new school Turk that's
Well,
new
I
kid on the
tell you
block.
what, in terms of stocks, real quick, the old school stock that's apparently new again, and this is your baby, so I'm sort of driving in your lane. But Disney is just, you think about the story of Disney now. Parks going to
Yeah,
be reopened. You've mentioned a long time that the fact that Disney Plus putting up the numbers like they're putting, they should get not a Netflix multiple per se, but they should get a bigger multiple that they
something,
have right now,
something.
and you're seeing it in the stocks. So I guess Disney is what's old is new, man.
Well, and our friend the stud Tom Rogers comes on, and a man with a a godfather of cable TV for sure, and cable news, but he points out the loss leading quality of this business for Disney, and I'll go back to say that that's really what Netflix had for a long time. They look like they may have actually turned the corner in their last round of numbers, so how about new kid on the block that's kind of competing with the old kids, but has obviously a new element to it and the new storyline, and it's Apple. I
So
mean, how
look at
about
you.
Apple talking about getting involved in the auto space again, an old boys network and an old boys industry. But the question is, in what capacity? It's not necessarily in production and manufacturing and hardware. It's got to be in software innovation and technology, and more importantly, the autonomous essentially not necessarily the EV component, but everything that is big data, operating system oriented. And I 2 years ago, I was not happy to hear. It was actually 4 years ago to start to hear about this news, because it seemed like they were stretching and looking for innovation. And the last thing you wanted Apple to do was to be building cars. Meanwhile, that was at a time when Tesla was coming through, and look what Tesla has done without really having to build the car and the multiple. And I think this is going to be a driver for Apple's valuation in the long term. But in the meantime, enjoy the big game, Guy. And
I'm gonna enjoy it. And just before we get out, I mentioned this to Melissa Lee last night. I know you are a fan. She probably never heard of him, but Bruce Springsteen, you're a fan, right?
one of the best halftime Super Bowl shows ever. I know you were a big fan of that wardrobe malfunction too
No, I was
JJ.
not. No, I don't. I think
it's okay.
listen,
it's okay to be a voyeur.
You know what? If I ran the NFL, I would abolish the halftime show. I would just do a normal halftime where a bunch of people just wandering around, and then get back to the game, because theoretically that's what we should be there for. But hold on a second. I mentioned it because Bruce Springsteen, I'd say 8 of his songs are about cars, and a fuely heads and a hearse on the floor. I mean, racing on the streets. You think Bruce is writing a song about the Apple autonomous car? I mean, really? So you know what? Enjoy yourself in that autonomous vehicle. It ain't for me. No, I'm just saying, I got zero interest in that. It might work for you, new guy, but it ain't working for this old guy.
So 66 Mustang convertible, cherry apple red.
Sure.
See you this summer.
Later.